I opened the comment, then I went to Google, and I realized that this Depo injection was banned in those developing countries, and it has been researched,
yes.
to be making women barren completely. And people stay years without babies. Others end up with no babies. Others, it affects your hormonal, the whole hormonal entire system.
Hello, good morning, and a warm welcome to LNS. My name is Lynn Ngugi. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I posted something on my Facebook and Instagram stories, and I asked you, do you think contraceptives work, or do you prefer withdrawals? And I got a lot of reactions, especially on the negative. So many people came and talked about their experience with contraceptives. And when my guest starts telling us about her story, you will understand why this show had to be done like this. But before we can even get started, allow me to read what she sent me. She said, "Hi Lynn, just saw your post on family planning on FB. I will never use any again. Used a Depo back in 2007, and the years following up to date, I have never seen my period. I've tried getting pregnant. I can't. It messed me up. Got married in 2013. Up to now, I can't conceive. 15 years, no period, no nothing." And then she says, this is the most heartbreaking thing she's ever witnessed, and she still has hope, and she thanks us for our platform. Be blessed. Now, let me not go any further. Allow me to first let her introduce herself. Hi, W.
Hi.
How are you?
Awesome.
Uko salama?
Kabisa.
Yes, I know we can't use your names for the purpose of this conversation.
Yeah.
But why was it important for you to come and have this conversation with me?
The reason why I wrote you the SMS, I wrote you the DM because I have suffered because of family planning, and I have seen people also suffer, and it's not something that you just go out there sharing every day. So it was killing me every day, each day, and in years. So I decided to come out and maybe think that this message will go across maybe someone who will be younger than me right now, or younger than I was, and is using contraceptives, and they don't have kids. It's not that it's their own will. Some people use them because someone, maybe a guardian, forced them to use, and maybe got ill advice like I did. And that has changed my life to the worst. Yes, and I want someone to learn from this.
Oh, thank you so much. It takes a lot of courage, because I always say sometimes you owe us nothing. You come in and opening up and telling us some of your deepest, secrets, some of your deepest wounds, some of your deepest stories. You owe us nothing. So allow me to say thank you, even before we start. But how are you feeling?
I'm amazed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm happy, I'm content.
Yes.
I want to share this, I'm ready.
You are ready?
Yes.
All right, so let's get started. I want to go way back to the little girl in you. Because even me, I remember when I started being sexually active, there was not much knowledge out there. Actually, I don't remember someone sitting me vizuri the way I intend on sitting my daughter and telling them, this is how now babies are made, this is the age you are in, this is how you start feeling sometimes, and this is what you need to do when you start being sexually active. So allow me to take you way back to the young girl in you. What was taught to you? What was told to you?
Okay, growing up in our early age, the people who were born in around the 80s, and we were taught nothing in school. Actually, I remember there was an event that used to happen in school, in primary school, that used to come. I don't know whether it's a company that were there before. They used to give us pads, but the teachers only mentioned a bit of the reproductive and the way you can get your periods and all that. But home, nobody told you anything. We have never been told about pads. We have never been told about when you reach a certain age, you are going to get periods, how babies are made, nothing, none of that. We never got that advice from our parents.
Okay. How was it like for you when you started being sexually active? Yes.
I remember when I started get sexually active, it was so weird. I hated it, actually. I hated it. You know, I used to see people talk about sex all the time.
Yeah.
And people were talking about it as if it was something fun, but I hated it. Yeah, it was not something that I was amazed about. Yeah, but something that I was sure, because I was getting information from outsiders instead of home. But I realized that it was not something that I wanted to do.
Yes. It's not like the way they explain it
Yes,
in the
it's
romance
not.
book.
Actually, it's not. And I wondered, why do people like it? Like, what is there? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I didn't find anything to be amused about.
Yeah. So the first time doing it,
yeah.
did you know, I'm just trying to be very mature about this,
Yes.
but did you know kuna condoms, kuna withdrawals, kuna contraceptives, kuna all these methods that people use? What was working for you?
Nothing. I didn't know anything about that. The only thing I know is that there were condoms. About family planning, I never thought that I can use family planning initially because I was so young, and I also never, I never intended to be sexually active. Nile too, it just happens, you know. But later on, now when you have a boyfriend and you start dating with someone, and it happens, so you realize, so it can happen today, it can happen tomorrow or next week.
Yeah.
So you have to protect yourself, you know.
Yeah.
But no one came to give me information about what next. Yeah.
Okay.
And I also think the situation I was in, no one, the person, me and the guy, we didn't want to have kids immediately. So
how old were you?
I was 21.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 21, 22, around that time, yes.
Okay. So, and you did not want kids?
No, I didn't want kids because the situation I was in, I had my future ahead of me. Also, I thought I had a big future ahead of me. So I found kids to be derailing. Also, we growing up, we had girls, our age mates. I remember in our class on primary school, so many people after finishing class, they got pregnant. And my parent would tell me, my mom, if I see you with those girls, they are getting pregnant every time. They are playing with boys. So I didn't understand the concept of playing with boys. How does it happen?
Yeah.
She didn't say direct. When you do this and this and this, you get pregnant.
Yes.
Actually, we were also forbidden from playing with boys. We never played with boys, but we were not told. What do we do with these boys to get pregnant? So until our teacher, I think it was science teacher, taught us everything, that's when our minds started opening up. So because you are told you are going to develop your boobs, your bodies, your hips, your everything. So you start seeing you are getting hips, you start seeing you are becoming a woman.
Yeah.
But other than that, our parents never told us anything.
Okay. Now I want to get to the contraceptive part
Yeah.
where you used, you say you used Depo.
Yes.
That's how it's,
Yes.
that's how they call it.
Yes.
I want you to explain to us what Depo is, but also for the purpose of this interview, why was it important for you not to show your face?
Okay. The reason why I don't want to show my face, it's because I'm not ready for the backlash. Nowadays, I see people becoming vulnerable online and they're sharing their story. And for some reason, I think it's a generation thing happening now in this age and era. People just backlash you. They don't know where you are coming from. They don't know why you are sharing, whether it's inspirational or you are suffering or you need help, you are calling for help. And they just bash you and talk so many things. So I did not want that that bashing to come to me and my family too. Because it's definitely when the bashing comes, it's going to extend to my family. And you know, when the bashing goes to family and people start sharing these clips, it's now going to go viral, and I can't handle it for now. I'm not ready, but maybe in the future I will.
Good. You have a husband?
Yes, I'm married.
How long?
From around 10 years.
10 years.
Yes.
So you guys, you've been together for 10 years.
Yes.
How is his reaction?
Initially, when I came in, you know, the reason, taking back to the Depo, first of all, the reason why I had to talk to him, because I could not get my period. Going back to Depo, when I started using Depo is an injection that they give you 3 months, I think, to delay the fertility period, something like that.
Yeah.
Though I didn't understand it better when I was starting to do it, I was doing it.
Let's go there.
Okay.
You did not understand it.
I did not understand it.
Yes.
Actually, I asked a friend, I would call her an auntie in quotes. I asked her, now that I have a boyfriend and I don't want to have babies. Actually, she called me and asked me, now I can see you have a boyfriend. Do you want to have babies? I told her, not right now. She told me, because I don't want you to have babies and the issues you are in, I was starting my jobs and know that I was employed. She told me, go get shindano, if I may say the word.
Yes.
Then I asked her, what is shindano? For family planning. You mean I've now started to, starting to think of family planning? Yeah. Because I believed then, back then, in 2007, that family planning is for married women, for old people. You know, it was not for us.
Yeah.
So she told me, go, make sure you go. Yeah. I remember the following day she called me and she told me, go, because she could see what I was going through. And I used to tell her about my dreams and what I want to do, and I'm not ready. And this person also, we were not ready. I went to a dispensary. Yes. And I asked the doctor, and I remember she told me, yes, we can start with Depo. And she wrote me a book, like a card, that you write, you come back, you always come back again after every 3 months. And let me tell you, Lynn, I never forgot the date. 3 months, that date used to ring in my head. I used to go back and continue. My issue was I never consulted anyone, but I was told at one point, I talked to someone and that my periods have now stopped coming and they are not regular anymore. Yeah. Then someone told me, go to Serikali, go to Hosia Serikali. And I went. And the nurse I found there, I explained everything. And she asked me, do you still want kids? I told her no. Nikamuliza, is there a way I can be seeing my periods? Akaniambia, it goes 2 ways. There are people who use Depo and bleed all through, non-stop. And you, for yours, is not for bleeding because clearly your periods have gone away. That's around like 9 months later, is in the third time I was going. So akaniambia, let's continue. And I said yes. And we continued over the years. I continued, no husband, initially that time, no husband, dating, and I still continued until I met my husband. And you know, when you guys are dating, of course you are not sure where your future is going. Good. And you have not planned to have a baby like instantly with him because you want to know what type of person he is. Yes. And you want to build a family. Yeah. So I continued using behind his back. Behind his back. Yeah. Then we started talking about family. I became guilty, so much guilty, I had to tell him. I sat him down, I told him, and he told me, are you ready to have kids? I told him, now I feel like I'm ready. That's around like 5 years ago. And I stopped. I talked to my doctor. By then I had moved and gone to where I am married now. So I went to see the doctor who I was going to, Anidunge. Yes. I told him, now I want to stop. He told me, stop and wait for a few months, the period will come. I waited for a year. I went back. He gave me some pills. Yes. They are also family planning. He told me these ones are going to kuyamsha. Yeah. The whole system, ikuje. I waited, never happened. I went to see a gyna, another gyna, akanipea some medication, it never happened. Now, the last time I saw a gyna was a year and a half ago, around COVID. Yes. And I was so tired of, I was asking myself, what happens inside my body, you know, because as a woman, you expect your period every month. And I went to see a gyna, and I was sent to do some tests in one of the biggest labs in Nairobi. Yeah. And I did the tests, though I cannot recall them, what they are called. And when I came back, the lady told me that I should use some medication, and they are going, and I come back to see her. Then COVID hit real bad. I never went back to her. But the medication she gave me, it didn't work. My periods also never came back up to date. Yeah. Yes.
So the last time you saw your periods was in 2007?
It was in 2007. In 2013, they came for a day. I remember, for a day or hours. I would say 24 to 48 hours. Then they vanished. They've never come again. I have not seen my period, basically, if we would say, for the last 15 years.
No pain in, like people get...
Yeah, cramps.
Cramps.
Yeah, I used to have serious cramps. I could not leave the bed when I used to have my periods. Yes.
And now?
Nothing. Nothing until, I think, 4 months ago, I felt some pain around my tummy. Yeah. And I waited. I could carry my pads and tampons everywhere. They never came.
Does that get you excited? Like
yes, when I get those cramps, I get so much excited. And do you know, it was maybe, it conditioned my mind that I could not wear white. Every time I wear white, I'm always very cautious. Because they have stayed for 15 years without coming.
You never know.
You never know zitakuja aje.
Sangapi.
Ni sangapi. And the massiveness or whatever you might call it. Yes. Zitakuja na design gani. They might embarrass you. Yeah. Yeah, you always carry a kiko. You know, you have conditioned your mindset to be ready for anything. Yeah, and these are the fruits of that time, of what I did. Okay. Yeah.
So now you went to, in 2020 COVID hit.
Yes.
Have you revisited a gyna?
No,
Have you had this conversation with someone, like the progress? Now what do I do from here?
Yeah. I've talked about visiting. Yes. Actually, let me be honest, I postpone every month.
Why?
I don't know. I think I also beat myself for that. And it started affecting me because I started asking myself questions. Why did you do it? Why did you have to do it? If only you saw how your future would have been. Yeah. If only you saw that you would still be alive, you still be, maybe had a baby, or yeah, that kind of feel, beating myself up all the time. And it has also affected me. Kabisa. I always blame myself for that. Blame. So whenever I want to go to a gyna, to be vulnerable, and to now start talking again, maybe the same gyna or another one, I Google gynas every day. I pick numbers of gynas. I screenshot online all the gynas people talk about, all of them. I have them. But since I went to see that one, I've not been able to go see another one because I've not allowed myself to be vulnerable to a gyna. Yes. And also I asked myself, what will the gyna think about me? Yeah.
Do you feel like this is your fault completely?
Yes. Yes, I blame myself every day. Yeah.
Let's talk about your marriage because now you are settled.
Yes.
You're with a man you love. And there are always expectations, especially in the African setup. I don't know why people think kids are what complete a family, right? So he's here with you, walking you through this journey. Has he ever been like, hey babe, sasa, si tujipange?
Yeah, we've had conversations, I will not lie. We've had, because it's an African setting, when even people come get married into the same compound and have babies.
Oh, before you.
Before you, and they come maybe a year or two and they are pregnant. And you've stayed 10, so people start wondering what's going on. Leave alone that even where we live in the apartment, people look at you weirdly because they give birth all the time. They have babies all the time. And others, you would hear them start saying, you would have such a beautiful baby. You know, you and ama ni vile utakangi, you know, people talk those things. Whenever you go to a family meetup or a setting, someone will ask you why you don't want to, utaki kubadilisha shape, utaki kuharibu shape. Someone will ask you, still, when are we going to wait? So all those things happen whenever you go to a family meeting and all the babies are playing outside. And people have newborn babies that you didn't even know about. You see the way people look at you whenever you are taking photos of family, and people look at you weirdly. All that happens all the time. Yeah. Yes, but my husband has never showed me that part of, you know, if no babies, you have to go, you know. No. He told me that kids come from God. And not even a single day, I don't want to lie on him, that he has showed me madharau because of not having a baby. He tells me there is us. Then comes the kids who only God allows to come. maybe you'll have like 5 people will start asking kwani walikuwa wamefungiwa, you know. Yeah, and that gives me hope for the future. But all the same, we also talked about you know, also age is catching up for both of us. Though we have a daughter, not mine, but you could see that the age difference ya watoto itakuwa mbali sana in the African setting. So we talk, and there's a day he told me, don't you think we should just adopt a baby to be running around here? So you also understand that he's also human, he's African, and there are times he thinks about it, though he does not beat you about it. Yeah, and when you hear someone mention that, ilikuwa kwa thoughts zake, you know. Yeah.
Have you ever wanted to adopt?
Yes, I would love to, but I always wanted to adapt when I have mine. I'm not ready, though whenever I see the news, I see your show, I see people abandoning kids, I always ask myself, why can't I have that kid? But also, at the same time, in Kenya, adopting is not just an easy thing. You have to, here you have to show a few things to be a stable home, a few things to be able to adopt a baby.
Adoption is hard.
Yeah. And also I've had, sorry to say this, I've had horror stories about adoption, like someone carrying babies and something turning out to not what they thought it would be. Yeah.
Okay.
So it has crossed my mind.
It has. What other options have you explored? Because I hear people say there is IVF, there are all these options. Oh my God, I don't know many. But people say, kuna 2 options. Have you explored some?
I've actually, before then, I've tried so many things actually to bring back my period, first of all. Because bringing back my period would now take me to the next level of me and the guy now walking in a journey of knowing. You know, people tell you, actually, when you watch these Maju movies, they tell you, oh, your age is catching up, you need to freeze your eggs, you know, if you don't want to have babies right now, you're going to have, when you get 33 and above, you're not going to have a normal baby. Even that thing crossed my head.
What kind of a baby does someone have above 33?
I don't know. Abnormal, like the baby will have issues. I think we watch so many of these documentaries, also they affect us. And I've also tried so many things in the market, to be honest. I won't mention them, but I've drank so many things, which someone in my own friendship bought me. So one day, a friend of mine, I didn't know what she was thinking. She told me, I want to buy you, there's something I've sent with the rider, I need you to pick it. And I was like, okay. Then the rider shows up at work and I pick it up. It's one of those things sold online. And I hear people talking about, I follow the page, people have so many testimonies over there, but myself, I always had fear of drinking it. I drank it, nothing came. I bought another one, nothing came. My friend called me and asked me, did you finish? Yes. Did you buy another one? Yes. But later on, I asked her, why did you buy me that? We've never discussed kids. Like, why did you buy? She told me, you would be a very good mom. I'm just thinking about you, nothing more. So I said, thank you. I've tried so much stuff to be able to bring my period back. Yeah, and nothing has worked so far.
Does any of this make you feel less of a woman?
Sometimes. Yes, it does. When I'm not having a good day and I'm around kids, when I'm not having a good day and someone mentioned, you know, there are those things that, you know me, I'm plus size. So whenever I wear a dera or a dress that is a bit tight,
some people think you are pregnant.
Every time. There's a dress I stopped wearing. I love it so much, but because my tummy would show a shape like I'm pregnant, you could see someone doing this on my tummy, which I hate. Yeah, so many times. Like, umeshiba, nikukula unakula sana, you know, ama umefikiria sasa, you know, those kind of talks. And I used to keep quiet, but right now I defend myself. You're not going to tell me those things. Right now I have gained back my power of, please stop talking to me about babies. I know society expects me to be pregnant, but that's society. Yeah. So many people will always talk, I go to Shago, I wear a dera at home, and everyone is looking at you sideways. God forbid ukule ushibe. now your tummy will be the talk of the whole area. Then a few months, I remember there's a time I used to feel sicklish all the time. Sicklish. I even thought I was pregnant. I did tests. I thought maybe my prayers were answered. Nothing. And my tummy was very, very big. Yeah. So I used to wear free dresses. I love free dresses. Yes. Then I went to Shags, and someone, I won't mention them here, they looked at me and they believed I was pregnant. So 6 months later, we meet again. And I'm now in a waistline dress, tight dress and all that. Then they were like, okay, so this is what you have been doing. You get pregnant, you abort. I heard the story through one of our family friends. And I hated her up to date. Yeah. Because she needed to ask me. She didn't have to talk those things. About you. Yeah, up to date, I don't like talking to her.
I'm sure a lot has been said about you.
Yeah, in the family setting. Yeah. Aunties, friends, people always say, even where we live, someone thinks that it's okay to have an opinion about me, because the whole area, people are having babies. Even new young couples are coming in, and they are having babies. A year or so they have babies. So people always say, I've heard they say, I'm playing with my husband, I don't want to have kids. Others, I don't think he's suitable to have kids with. I've heard those weird stories. And you see, the type of setting where people don't go to work. Yeah. There are those people always go apartment who don't go to work. Yes. So those people are free to be judging things. Yeah. And they always have an opinion on things.
Absolutely.
So whenever they have kids and they are pregnant and they add another kid, they always look at you sideways. Like, why are you not pregnant? Why are you holding babies? Why are you saying hi to our babies? Why are you saying holding? Yes. And you know, now, right now, I don't host babies in my house. Like the way you open a door, and I used to open the door and a baby enters up to the bedroom. Right now, I don't. It's very rare you find a baby, because people will pick a baby, they'll just go back to the house and start saying, kwa nini asizae wake? I used to get all that stuff. Ilikuwa inanifikia. Until I realized I'll say hi to the babies, lift them up, leave them there.
I know you've also Googled about Depo.
Hey, I've Googled
a lot. I wanna read some of the views I got from the post also. But I know you've researched. What have you seen out there?
Initially, when you wrote that message, that day, what would I use? Ilini awake. I went online. Someone around the comments said this thing was banned, which I didn't know. That's why I say get information and clear information. So I went to the comment. I opened the comment. Then I went to Google. And I realized that this Depo injection was banned in those developing countries. And it has been researched, to be making women barren completely. And people stay years without babies. Others end up with no babies. Others, it affects your the whole hormonal entire system. Let me tell you, that day I was shocked. I could not even, my Google search story was always on that whole week. Like I could open, read this, see it was banned here. And I asked myself, if this thing was banned, na sio saili baniwa, I was so shocked. It was banned years ago. Why would us in Kenya have it? Because I don't want to seem ignorant, but doctors will understand better about this thing and advising us not to use it. That means it should not supposed to be in our country.
And in the market.
In the market. Let me tell you, I was livid. I was mad. I asked myself, I was injecting poison in my entire system for years. That thing hurt my heart, kabisa. It broke me. It broke me. It took me to, do you know, I read almost the entire comment section, because so many people, so many comments, hundreds of comments. And I could read what people were going through. Others did not want to talk about it openly there. It was so sad.
Let me read some of the comments, guys. I wanna read some of the comments that stood out in that poster. You can find that post on my FB. Also on my Insta stories, it's all highlighted safe days. So even as I read, we'll bring a gyna next week on the show. So because we need to get to the depth of this, so I want you guys to stay tuned next week because we'll have a gyna on the show. But I want to read some of the thoughts and some of the comments I got, and I want you to tell me what you think about it. So I asked, what are your thoughts on this? Do safe days and withdrawals also work? So this was just a question on contraceptives too. Someone spoke about Nexplanon implant. Do you know what that is? Yeah, someone said Nexplanon implant and almost bled to death the first year, then periods stopped for 6 years. So this person had their periods stopped for 6 years. Another said pills, which are Yasmin pills, resulted in blood clot for me. Almost died. Non-hormonal is the way to go. And also someone said, I haven't tried family planning yet, but I've seen enough to show me it's not safe. Also asking, what do you guys do? Someone also said, I tried all and they give either a baby or hormonal imbalance, now withdrawal or safe days. Depo shouldn't be on the market. Weight gain and periods missing for at least 6 months. This person missed their periods for 6 months. And then someone said, actually, family planning has never worked for me, including the IUD. So I quit in 2017. As we get to this discussion, I said I'll bring a gyna here because we need to talk about IUDs, we need to talk about Depos, we need to talk about Yasmin, we need to talk about all these Nexplanon. We also need to find out why these things are still on the market. But you going through that post and seeing so many women hurting and some of the backlash you can get, what did that make you think about our society?
First of all, I think our society should be lenient towards each other. Be there for each other because people are battling so many things. Others are losing their marriages, divorces. Others are falling into depression. Like last week also I saw another comment also on another lady. I usually follow those discussions a lot. And someone was saying, please pray for me. I want to have a baby because where I am married, it's been a year and I think 6 months again, and I cannot live in peace. So I would really ask, even the reason why I'm not showing my face, because of society, people will judge you. People don't understand where you are coming from. No one knows where I was around that time when I was using that, why I used. I might have not researched enough, and I blame myself for that. But society needs not to judge. Please be lenient, listen to someone, and maybe help. If you have someone out there who can help, reach out, help, talk to us, teach us, and let's make this awareness. I think that's what I would say.
How do you feel, how do you handle your most emotional days? You know, those days when you are down and you see just kids playing, or you look at your husband, and you know there are always those questions, will he one day walk out and just leave me by myself? How do you handle such thoughts?
I would say, like on Sundays when we go to church, and there's something about him. I don't understand what it is. Whenever he sits, he gets surrounded by 10, 15 babies. I don't know what happens. They leave their parents and they follow him. On the road, when you walk, he's always having babies. When he carries babies in the car, they don't want to leave the car. I usually tell him, ungekuwa mwalimu wa nursery. He says he can do that. Nursery ama Sunday school. He says he can do that. So whenever we go to church and we hold a baby next, and a baby wants him and we hold a baby, I usually see how he looks at the baby. I start putting thoughts in my head about what he's thinking. He's not telling me, but there are those emotional times when I also go on a baby shower. I go home and I visit so many baby showers I attend. And when I go home, I usually have maybe a bad attitude, like a serious bad attitude. When you talk to me, I snap back, I cry, I close my door and I cry, or I ignore people, I ignore calls, I don't leave the house for a day or so, which no one knows. Even him, he comes to the house and asks me, why are you crying? And I say, no. He tells me, I know you are crying. You cannot lie. You look like you are crying.
Yes.
So, and whenever someone also talks about me, someone says, oh, you have nice hair and your husband has nice hair. So if you would have had a baby,
they would have good
hair. Someone has been telling me that, and I had to stop them around my neighborhood, and I had to tell them, please keep away. Please stop talking to me like that. Stop telling me. Whenever you see me, please stop. Whenever you see me, stop talking about baby. Say hi and move. So whenever those things happen, I go to the house, I cry. I always cry. I always cry. Then I call him. Or maybe when he comes home, I tell him, someone said this and this to me, and he tells me, you need to keep away from such people. You don't even have to say hi, just walk past them. Yeah, so I usually cry myself.
Oh, yeah. I know he knows he gave you your blessing to
Yeah.
be on the show. He was even of the opinion, show your face.
Yes, yeah.
But if you talk to him?
I would tell him today that I appreciate him, that I've seen so many people that have not had babies and they have lost their marriages. Some people are beaten every day. Why are you? And maybe they have 4 kids and they are told to add other kids. Yes. And the kids are not coming through. So they are beaten. Others go through GBV and all that. But he has never even laid a finger on me. He has never pointed me. He has never come home with an attitude of kids. He has never told me that you cannot. He told me that one day you are going to be a great mom and the baby will come. But all wakati wa Mungu.
All wakati.
So I appreciate him so much, and I believe one day the baby is coming.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes. We'll have a testimony.
Yes, and that testimony will come and show the baby and show the face.
We'll have a testimony.
Yes, it's
I
coming.
know one of these days
Yes,
we'll
yes.
have a testimony, and may God bless your marriage.
Amen.
May He
Thank
bless
you.
your husband.
Amen.
May He bless you.
Amen.
This is not an easy conversation to have.
Yeah.
It's not. But I want you to talk to other women out there who can't even open their mouth and even tell their sisters or their mothers, who can't even, I see you brought a very close friend with you today,
Yeah.
and she knows everything about you. But there are so many women out there who can't even tell their closest friend
Yes.
about what they are going through. Talk to them.
So first of all, I would first tell them that God loves them and God has a purpose in their lives. And the reason why they are alive, it's because something good will come out of this. And they should not let society dictate their way of life. I would tell them to hang in there. I would tell them, if you have someone that you can open up to, please try. Because what I've realized is that that whole story kills you inside. It kills you every day.
Yes.
And it's conditioned by society to make you look less of a woman.
Yes.
Like you're not important or you are less of a woman. I've had stories of people who have been, they stay away from their friends, they now stay alone, they're always in the house depressed, they don't visit even family, because whenever they show up, someone is almost 50 years old. And do you know people even get babies at 60?
Yes.
Because God is the one who gives kids. So someone won't even show in a family setting, because they are going to be told, where are your babies, you know, and the talks that come with it. I will tell them that they are super women, they should believe in themselves, they should go out there and be bold and face the world. But most of all, they should start loving themselves. Self-love. I've come to realize self-love is very important. There's a time this whole entire thing, around 2019, it beat me. Like, I lost a lot of weight. No one could know. People knew I was losing weight because I wanted to, but nobody knew. Actually, even my husband didn't know. I just said it here. I just lost weight. But he asked me, are you losing weight because of society and babies? I told him no, but it was true. So, don't allow someone to affect. You know, these things would affect your entire health. Don't allow someone to put you in a box and condition you in a certain way that society wants you to be. Be bold, get out there, and know that you are beautiful, you are bold. Look for someone you can talk to, maybe a counselor. We do not, in the African setting, talking to a counselor has been weird. Yeah, weak. Opening up is weak, and also talking is weak. You are not enough, those kind of things. I would like to tell them to go out there so that they can start living. Stop existing, start living.
Stop existing, start living.
Start living, and those babies will come.
Yeah.
Mungu ni amepanga, the time, it's coming.
It's coming.
Yes, no matter the age.
Yes.
Even me, it's coming.
Yes.
Yes, it's coming.
And we gotta believe.
Yes.
Yes, and we have to believe. I wanna wind up, but before I do, is there anything you think we should have touched on that we haven't touched on?
Yes.
Yes, go on.
I would say, I would maybe raise a plea to our government. So many of these family planning methods, whenever you Google them, something weird comes up. Maybe they were banned somewhere, or they do this to someone.
Yes.
And I think, because I know our government wants to raise a healthy generation, so I would please beg them, before those things comes to the country, they evaluate kabisa, because we have a medical board, I think, a very strong, healthy organization, health organization. I would ask them, please, don't let those bad things, poison, come inside our borders. Because when they come inside our borders and we don't have information, people are going to use them.
Yes.
I would also urge them to maybe have, I hear people calling them community, talking in the community.
Yes, sensitization.
Sensitization to people to stop using things that they are not sure. They teach them before they use.
Yes.
Also, about our men, there are men that condition women to use family planning. Be lenient. Go with her to the gyna. There are women I hear saying, this is not working for me, it's making me bleed, it's making me go through a lot of emotions, kwanza weight gain. But then it added weight. I was bigger than this actually. And please go with her to the gyna, understand what is possible to be done. And also, if she cannot handle any, you can always chip in yourself. There are so many ways also as men they can do.
They can do. I love that. Because I feel like the burden of contraceptives has been left on the woman. You know, sex is good as long as after we are done, you're the one who is going to have the contraceptives, or you're the one who need to come prepared. I think it takes two.
It takes two, because sex happens between two people. Procreation will happen to two people.
Yes.
All those kind of stuff. Please stop. Please, men, we are now evolving. Please lift the burden of family planning from your women. Even if she will use, you come to a point where she's the one who is going to use. Don't condition it to her. Don't put it, now you have to use. Ama, now you're pregnant. Now that's your fault. And I'm not ready to take care of the baby, maybe. Please lift the burden off the shoulders of women. Do something about it. Let's raise healthy women that won't, in years to come, regret.
Yes. I want you to talk to yourself before I wind up. Say something to yourself.
I would say that today's interview has made me go deep where I have never gone over the years. And it has told me, something in me tells me it's gonna be okay. It's going to be okay, that I should not worry. And now that I've relieved the burden of my shoulders, I believe I'm coming with a testimony, and I hope I've inspired someone. To our young girls out there, please, no matter how hard life is, do not use a contraceptive. That's my advice. Someone's advice must be different. Don't use a contraceptive when you're not married, or you have a partner that you are now ready to start a family. And also, do not use because it's sold over the counter. Please go see a gyna, and a good gyna, not someone who says, now I'm a gyna. No. Go to a gyna. Even in the public hospitals, there are gynas who are free. Yes. Go see a gyna, explain everything to them. Do not let someone impose a burden of family planning on you, because it will catch up on you. I was 20, 21. It has catch up on me. So please learn from me. Do not use family planning.
At all.
At all. Don't.
You don't even want to hear anyone is using.
No, please don't. If just go, I'm talking about the young girls. Please go see a gynecologist. Also, why use? Why? Yeah.
Why? Thank you.
You could abstain and just, why use?
Why use?
Yeah, I know they don't understand what I'm saying right now because they are in the same setting I was in.
Yeah.
But right now, Mimi, if you tell me about family planning, I will exit through the next door. I can't. Even if I went back to 18 again, I can't. Please don't.
Don't at all.
Yeah, don't.
Thank you. You've been so brave, even to come and share your story with us. And as I started, I always say, you owe us nothing. We owe you everything for just coming and sharing your story and letting us into your deepest of secrets and your deepest of thoughts. And I have a feeling we'll have a testimony soon. I have a feeling. And if a guy comes along the way, someone, because this show is watched by really amazing people, and they would want to maybe reach out to you, would you be open to having a conversation with a guy now?
Definitely, I'm ready.
Yes.
I'm so ready because I want my life back.
Yes.
I want to be able to see my periods and now go to the next level.
Yeah.
So I'm so ready. Anyone out there who wants to reach out to me and advice or help, my heart is open.
It's open.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if anyone is watching us, because I can't give her contacts yet, but you have my email. If someone is watching and they are in a position where they could intervene, my email is right here. That is lynn.ngugi@lnn.digital. Reach out to me and I will personally connect you with her, because as I said, I know we have a testimony coming soon. And just to thank you again for being so brave and sharing your story with us. Shall we wind up?
Yes, and you've changed my life and the perspective on how I see things now. I'm more brave, and I thank you. This is the beginning of the rest of my life.
Good. I love to hear that. This is the beginning of the rest of your life. And I like that you've already defined yourself. With or without children, you have already defined yourself. Self-love is important, because if we all think kids will walk into our lives and make us complete, and we are not complete by ourselves, then we are lying to ourselves. So I love that you have this massive self-love that you've given yourself, and continue giving yourself more love, because I can tell you for free, kids don't define you. They are a blessing, they are bonus. I think everyone wants to have them running around, but which love will you give them if you haven't given love to yourself?
It will be empty. You cannot give them love.
So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and to you guys at home, I hope this conversation was enlightening. And as I said, next week on Wednesday 10 a.m. we'll have a Gaina here on this platform, and we are going to genuinely talk about all of this. So if you have any questions that you would want me to ask them on the comment section, that's the place to go. Type and let me know, what are some of the experiences that you have had with contraceptives? What is it that you think works? Do you use withdrawals? Do you trust your safe days? Do you just go and say ni dunge iya hapa and you have no idea what that could do? Is it that we have actually let Africa be the dustbin of all rejects? Because I don't understand how things that were banned so many years ago are still making their way in our markets. So if you have questions for me, guys, because I really want us to have a very deep conversation with a Gaina, please leave them on the comment section below. And also, if you are a Gaina and you think you could be of help to our guest today, again, my email is right there, lynn.ngugi@lnn.digital. Please send me an email and I will personally connect you with her email and her phone number, because I really want us to be able to make her dream come true. She said today is the beginning of the rest of her life, and I always say when we come together in this platform, there's nothing we can't make happen. So thank you for tuning in. It's a conversation. We are going to have a series of these conversations because these are things that are affecting us, especially as women. These are things that are affecting our bodies, they are affecting our future, they are affecting us in the long run. So it's only fair that I dedicate a series where we are going to tackle them. And also on our community platform, I asked you a couple of months ago, do you think we should have shows that are anonymous? And today I think for the first time we've understood why, because I always say some people are really ready to share their story, but they are not ready to come with what comes after sharing their story. So I think we can make exemptions, especially on such cases where we feel that a story needs to be heard. Let's please accept that they can also be told anonymously. And thank you so much for tuning in. Want to share your story with me? My email is right on here on the screen, and I've mentioned it again. Thank you so much for tuning in to our team that makes these shows happen and makes sure that they are brought to you right on time. Our camera person Edwin Ochieng and our incredible editor Sam. Thank you so much for compiling this episode and making sure it reaches you guys right on time. Christmas in a Caribbean, so please give yourself some time off and enjoy life. Live a little. My name is Lynn Ngugi. Till next time, bye-bye.